They awoke a few hours later, still afloat with ecstasy, dried themselves off, built a small fire, then lay on a beach towel near the water as the energies of love were again asking to be quenched. The heat from the fire warmed the cool night, and so I removed my downy vest and used it as a pillow.
They slowly aroused each other in a passionate crescendo as the evensong rose all around them. I was soon straddling Peter, hovering in the air above him, my knees and hands supporting me and settling into the hollows that I'd carved in the sand. Peter lay on his back, looking up at me and into the starry night where endless fires burned. I was now the huntress, reigning over my willing prey, and I lowered down on my elbows and brought my lips to within kissing distance, my ripeness brushing lightly against his chest.
The kisses were full and moist, then playful and finally lingering. I harvested her bosoms as they hung in their fullness like fruit, and she directed the lovemaking as quickly or as slowly as her passion desired. Angelina turned her head this way and that so that I could kiss her ear to ear, as all the while her soft hair was brushing my cheeks.
I soon reached down and released his love arrow from its confines as he massaged my buttocks. But he didn't pull me down onto him, for this was my move, and there was yet much magic to be enjoyed in that airy space of attraction between the sword and the scabbard.
I reached under her to fan her quick sparks into flame, and after some minutes of this, her lips became engorged and dripped hot rain down upon my manhood.
Several times my body's tensions were swept away in waves of well-being. Balancing on one hand, I reached for his stiff wick, to which I would pass my fire, and there I found the seepage of love's juices waiting to burst forth. I played it against my button of desire to set the final fuse aglow.
Soon her pulsating well of flame devoured wick and wax, surrounding it with heat and comfort beyond belief.
Finally, with a last surge of activity that we both knew would take us beyond the point of no return, we allowed the sword and scabbard to taste the powder in the explosions of passion's tremendous energies revealed.
Still awash with waves of contentment, we pulled a blanket over us and drifted into the calm sleep that only lovers know. A thousand points of light yet stabbed the dome of night as we awoke before dawn.
The ever-present sound of the waves soothed our already trouble-free souls to a point where we could commingle with the stars, and thus freed, we could sense the earth floating in space, rolling along like a blue-green marble.
We witnessed a rare sight, the setting of the full moon, a touching if somewhat melancholy sight as the queen of the night sunk into the west and gave off her own dim version of twilight.
The zodiacal lights sprung into their western being, now that the sky was completely dark, and over in the east, false dawn came and went as the birds slept soundly, except for our pet crow, which dropped out of the night as if conjured from black velvet. Peter, the crow, our crow. Of course it's the creature who enchants us. It's the nightingale transformed, and it is perhaps even reincarnated with us in each of our instantiations.
Yes, it's somehow a magic bird.
Maybe it belonged to Merlin a long time ago.
Perhaps it really is Omar Khayyam's famous bird of time.
Like the one in the magic book that we saved from the burning monastery in the 1800s when I was a holy nun and you a saintly monk. And when we fell in love, the book spoke to us and sent us on a quest to find out the name of the rose.
I remember it well now.
Yes, we wrote all about it in Life, Love, and Being fumes from ancient times.
We were as the rose.
Yes, although the flowers that once had blown forever died.
But our spirits lived on, finding life in new flowers.
in this new and wonderful embodiment,
Because our love had so much energy.
that the energy became matter again.
Angelina said, "Let me tell you about our true colors, our spirits." I wrote it down. We are the eternal smile of being, the joy of the universe's creation. In us, the cosmos has come alive and has evolved into our consciousness from primordial matter and energy. We have arrived. We are the cosmos itself. We are the universe, life from stardust. We live but for one of eternity's heartbeats, borrowing life from death for just a while. All that we are we owe to time, death, and stars. Truly from the stars cometh our help, and much more. The stars are the creators of matter and energy. Within a star's heart, matter transforms itself and gives energy. This is why the stars shine. Death is the ultimate evaluator and the director of all evolutionary progress. Over eons upon eons, death selects the wise from the silly. Death chooses the useful from the useless, but it takes time. It is this long yardstick that sticks in our throat when we try to contemplate it. For what seemed like forever, our sleepless spirits have waited to catch light, life, and delight from heaven's smile. Finally, we are so lucky, and we live. We stand atop the pinnacle of nature's tireless toil, which has at last brought forth our souls from that black and endless eternal deep. What a joy to be! Blake said, "In what far and fiery depths of space burnt the fire of your spirit? In what distant stars was born the gleam in your eye? Know it well, for one day death will ask you, what did you do all of your life?" Our mind and senses interpret and unweave the one reality into the colors and sensations of the phenomenal world. We can become either rainbows or ugly stains. Our minds, like Shelley's prisms of many-colored glass, strain this white radiance of eternity into our life until death tramples us, and back we go to stardust after relentless time has wasted us away. Yes, our creators of time, death, and stardust must also write our epitaph. They devour us in order to return that life dream which was lent to us. But here we are now, and perhaps we come to know that the simpler things in life are still the best. A glass of water from the well in the morning, to love, laugh, and sing with family and friends. And so we live out our lives with honor and love, kindness and generosity. These are our true colors. Life for the sake of life. Good for good's sake. The ultimate humility is, I think, for us to realize that we are no more than electrochemical organisms, that we too are part of nature. Are we quite lucky and fancy organisms? Oh yes. Are we specially created by a master? Oh no. We are the embodiment of the cosmos and are ever the results of the natural laws of physics and chemistry. Death may be forever, but man, with his exaggerated view of self-importance and not wishing to see a final end to his glorious life, and I can hardly blame him, desperately grasps for immortality's promise. For me, I will continue to catch life's joy and smile, and will bathe in the light of its constant sunrise. On my last night on this earth, I will not be haunted by regret when the sleep of death comes to take me to corruption's dim dwelling place, for I will know that I lived for color and smile.
And what of the stars?
They remain as eternity's love lamps, representing our good works and deeds, which even the fathomless night cannot quench. Perhaps one day, at the end of forever, the stars too will die and grow cold when time conquers all. But as long as they live, they will shine and radiate the hues that paint the colors of our ashes, reborn again on the phoenix wings of time.
I like that very much, said Peter. I'll tell you a story about outer space. I own infinite wealth. Ever wonder just how rich you could be, laying claim to gold, silver, jewels, and gems owned by no one? You can, anytime.
At night, Peter opens up the heavens vault, his safety deposit box of valuable stars, one of whose planets contains all his wealth.
There are billions of stars, quite enough for everyone, really, but can one really own a star? Yes, if it is one's favorite star. Mine is Betelgeuse in Orion, a large dying red giant. Although it has already expanded into the orbits of its first two planets, I own the fourth planet, one that no one else has ever claimed, and I'm planning to homestead there someday. The planet, hereby named Peter, contains unlimited amounts of gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, and many other rare crystals, and it's all his now. For 6 months of the year, my favorite star is hidden, but in early autumn, if I stay up late, I can see Orion rising, his shining sword of nebulas gleaming in the black sky, and Blue Rigel, a near favorite, sparkling on his boot, but it's Betelgeuse on his shoulder that I really love. Although he is looking from Earth, Peter feels no less out in space than any other star. Yes, we are all far out, in fact, relatively speaking, from the galactic center, being in the middle of one of the spiral arms of the Milky Way. Anyway, I've chosen to leave my infinite wealth right there on the planet, since at least I know where it is. If I brought it here, someone might try to steal it.
To get through the other 6 months of the year, Peter has chosen Orange Arcturus in the Scorpion, which, due to ancient disputes and treaties, can never again be in the same sky with Orion the Hunter, having in fact once bitten him. Orion still hunts him, but of course can never catch him.
I own many favorite stars, actually, but I sometimes wonder, while enjoying the serenity of these deep, dark nights, if in fact they haven't come to own me.
I'll tell you about some riches that I too could have had. Once I had acres of gold, but I left it there.
Angelina found the forest of original growth.
What would it be like to stumble across lands that no one else had ever been to? And how could one know that? After reading Sir Conan Doyle's Lost World, about dinosaurs on a sealed-off plateau of a volcano, I wondered if there were any more undiscovered places.
So while at the Earth Summit in Rio last month, Angelina forayed into the uncharted regions of Brazil, having chosen from a map the most desolate and remotest area.
After various vaccinations and preparations, I trucked my one-person helicopter to the last way station, loaded the extra gas tanks onto it, and flew into the heart of darkness, gliding down onto a field just as the gas ran out.
From here she walked for tens of miles, always taking the most difficult path whenever there was a choice. This would ensure that she could end up in some unvisited, hard-to-get-at region.
After several hundred or so of these improbable choices, I came across acres and acres of ladies' slippers flowers, very rare flowers that usually only appeared in small bunches, growing only in conjunction with a rare fungus, and even then, usually get picked.
She then, after taking one last really difficult turn, discovered entire fields of flowers long thought to be extinct.
There were Eve's blossoms, not seen for thousands of years, historically valued for their life-extending elixir, as well as the original lost strain of Pearly Everlasting, the flower that never dies. And so I suspected that I might be in virgin territory.
How would she know? Well, for one, there were no paths, for even animals and their hunters had either long left or had never been here. Also, the flower colors were not like any that she had ever seen before. Not new colors, mind you, but just, well, colors of different intensities and hues that were not thought to exist in nature.
I saw true blue roses, legendary no more. I had chanced upon a land of strange rainbows of elfin-hued flowers, red delphiniums, black tulips, orange fuchsias, white marigolds, bronze grass, yellow violets, and Adam's apple, now growing from the ground.
Was this the original forest, the Garden of Eden? Was she the first to return?
And then I knew that it was, and I was, for there, right in front of me, was a field of thousands upon thousands of undisturbed golden nuggets on the forest floor. Surely no one had ever been here, at least not for a long, long time. I reached up and put Eden's apple back on the tree.
That's fabulous.
Some might even take it as an exaggeration, but I know that it's true.
"I have another story," said Peter, "about the three heavenly things on earth. Whether by accident or by design, not many heavenly things remain on earth. I suggest just three flowers, love and dreams. A fourth, elfin creatures, is perhaps only a pleasant speculation on near heavenly beings that for some reason exist in the half-light scenes of our imagination." Had flowers never appeared on earth, could anyone even have conceived of them? Or say, if the natural world was all green or had no color, colors are mostly in the flowers, would there have been a need for us even to be cognizant of colors? More than anything else on earth, flowers have universal appeal, being picked, grown, presented, used for medications, and just plain admired as beautiful by everyone. Some think that flowers were God's going away present to Eve as she departed the Garden of Eden, as shown in my epic poem, Flora Symbolica. The second heavenly thing on earth, night dreams during sleep, shows that we really don't need eyes to see. An amazing insight in itself. Actually, all reality takes place in the mind's eye. It just looks like it's out there, but is projected as such. Dreams, whatever their ultimate purpose, provide an all-night cable TV channel on which we can put on almost any show that we choose. Or we can just simply lay back and discover what's on the mind, if we can read past the static. Finally, love, which is perhaps the greatest of the heavenly things on earth, since it is the greatest feeling on earth. Would life even be worth living without affection, romance, passion, and loving, I wonder? And is there any excuse not to seek it out? Though many other heavenly things were perhaps removed from the earth when we were cast out of the garden, love, dreams, and flowers were allowed to remain, lent by us forever from some other dimension.